Today's video is part 2 of my ballast box build. We'll finish out the build. I'll give you a close-up look at it and maybe go over a few things I'd do differently if I were to make another one. Stay tuned. Given my propensity to bang into stuff, I decided putting the tool holders on the outside of the ballast box wasn't a great idea. I had some drain cleanouts left over from another project. I found that I could cut the very ends off the caps with my miter saw. This way, there's a way for water or whatever to easily drain out of the bottom of the tubes. After installing the drawbar, which I covered in part 1, it was time to cut some rebar, and then some welding, and then cut some more rebar, and then some more welding. You get the idea. Well, I think I'm done with my welding. It's probably overkill to put that much rebar in there, but to be honest with you, I was having a little bit of fun with my new welder. So pretty much we are good to go for the cement. I'm going to need to seal some of the seams up on the inside because our boards aren't quite perfectly mated together. But this kind of gives you the idea of what it's going to look like. I've got two 2-inch tubes for rakes or shovels or whatever will fit in there, and then one 4-inch tube, which is just the right size for a chainsaw bar, so I can stick the chainsaw in there. And then if I need to take tools with me somewhere with the ballast on, I'll have that option. I did have one more thing I needed to do before we could start putting cement on the inside, and that was mount my casters. As you'll see here in a little bit, my bolts are a little bit long, so I'll have to grind them off after I get the caster mounted. Even outdoors, I would highly recommend wearing a mask of some sort, as the dust from these bags of instant cement can do some serious damage to your lungs. Don't take a chance. Wear a mask. I think there must be a rule on YouTube that says if you hand mix cement, you have to show every bag getting mixed. I'm not sure who came up with this lame brain idea, but who am I to argue? So enjoy.
Use a reciprocating saw without the blade on your cement forms to help the cement settle and get any air bubbles out. This was not a Cowboy Steve original idea. I'm not that smart. I did see someone else doing it somewhere on YouTube. Okay, so here is the finished product. Took a lot longer to finish than I thought. Just had a lot of things going on. Sometimes life gets in the way of projects. Got it painted. Everything's cleaned up. Carries 2 tools and a chainsaw if I need to. I also have my hitch back here. I have a small utility trailer for yard work and whatnot that I would be able to take with me if I need to, and I need to take the ballast box as well. There are a couple things I do differently, I think. One is, I think first of all, I over-engineered it. This is way too big. I underestimated the volume of this size box. And I think if I had to do it again, I would make it a little bit smaller for this size tractor. If I end up upgrading or getting a second tractor up in that 55 horsepower range, this will probably be perfect. It's not too heavy, but it's probably close to 450 or 500 pounds. I think the lift capacity back here is over 1,000, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. I would really like to be able to try it out with the bucket and some stone that I have here on the property. But as you'll be seeing here as I pop a picture up on the screen, I've been mowing with this thing around my property for 8 years. And one of the last mows this year, somehow, I didn't even see it because I had my earbuds in listening to music. I ripped the joystick right off of the valve for my front hydraulics. So researching that, it's not going to be a cheap fix. I need to check with some of the local repair shops to see if it's something they can fix. I'm hoping that the valve assembly is a common enough size that it'll be easy to get parts for it. I'm not sure what all it's going to take to fix it. I think that my drawbar was a little too high. I think I should have gotten it a little bit lower, just because my clearance back here isn't what I'd hoped it would be. One thing about permanently mounting my casters on the bottom of the ballast box is this is as high as it goes. So it can bottom out pretty easily. Luckily, I have pretty flat terrain here on the property, so I shouldn't have to worry about that too much. But it's something to take into consideration if I would ever do it again. Thanks you guys for tuning in. Once again, if you think there's something I could have done differently or should have done better, let me know in the comments. And if I ever make another one, I'll be sure to take note of it. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next video. So what exactly is the purpose? What exactly is a ballast? And why should you have one for your tractor? Oh, come on, cat.